I need my drum set. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to episode 168 of the Alter Ego Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Ryan.
How's it going?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm swell. How are you?
Oh, man. I missed you so much. Mr. Ryan, how you doing out there in the Great White North?
It is not great in white. It is nice and sunny.
That's great. That's great. The Great Cream North. Nello, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm so good. I'm full. I had too much strawberry shortcake.
That's right. Yes. You did just come from a, what was it? A strawberry shortcake
festival.
factory? Oh, strawberry festival. Oh, get the fuck out of here.
It was fucking delicious.
Did you just call it the Great Cream North?
Yeah, he did.
You know what's funny about that is Milwaukee's nickname is the Cream City.
Oh, what?
Oh, ew.
Well,
now I feel dirty.
Okay, why? Why is it called this? I need to know why.
To be honest with you, I don't know, but it is the Cream City.
It's information you don't need.
Don't Google it.
Don't Google it. Oh, look at that. I love that little riff. Anyway, sorry. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Oh, my gosh. So much to talk about. So much stuff to talk about.
Can I just interject real quick? And I'm sorry.
We haven't even started.
Already.
I know. I just want to congratulate my buddy Jack. 1 million downloads, one fucking day. Congratulations.
It's not a day, it's a month. But
whatever.
Yes.
Month, a million fucking downloads.
Yes.
Congratulations
Yes.
to you, Rob.
Thank you.
Shout out to the
All you
7
guys.
Lamb crew for $1 million
right.
a month. That's
Yes.
huge. Number one drum in America.
Yeah, that's right.
Good
So,
freaking job, boys.
yes.
Good job.
So what they're referring to is, obviously, if you're listening to this, you probably know from 7 Lamb. But there's a show out there that we do called Tower 4, of which I am the star. And Robert does a fantastic job of writing and keeping
Amazing
it
writer.
captivating. And he writes and edits and all that stuff. And we just earned the #1 drama podcast in the United States honors, I guess, if you will, by Spotify. So that was just kind of mind-blowing that we were even in a list like that, because there are some professional ass actors that are in that category doing podcasts. So for us to do it, 2 guys out of a garage, as my boy Ryan loves to talk about, and has been in the garage.
Yep.
And
I've
you
been in the garage too.
You were on that show.
Yeah, I am. I think I had like
Yeah.
4 words.
Let's go. So you too, Ryan. You shared.
I wasn't on the show, but I was in the garage.
That's right. We recorded an episode of this in the garage.
I got to cook for the writer and the star.
That's right.
I'm so honored.
But yeah, and we are also at the point where our podcast company as a whole is earning 1 million downloads a month. And we had a huge party when we hit 1 million downloads. So like that was exciting. And then we did one for 5 million. And I was like, man, this will be really cool when we reach this next, milestone. And Rob just casually hits me when we're doing a table read the other day for Patreon. He goes, yeah, we're at 20 million downloads. I was like, we're at what?
Whoa.
So things are really rolling at 7 Lamb. And that part of that's to you guys. So thank you so much, because this show is a part of the 7 Lamb branch of shows. But
Now we just need to get Alter Ego up to at least 10,000 a month.
let's go. I would definitely love to see that. But let's get into it, shall we? Let's talk about a little bit of news. First thing I want to talk about, selfishly, if I can interject for a second.
Go ahead.
I did it.
I went and saw Dune 2.
Oh,
All right, we're done interjecting here. Knock it off.
So how was it?
Yeah. Y'all know me. You know, I don't really get crazy about certain movies. This is
That I can verify.
I mean, this is up there with the best movies I've ever seen. I'm talking visually. I'm talking storytelling. World building that they do in this movie is,
Let me ask this question, because we made the analogy, I believe it was a week or two
I will
ago.
not be spoiling this movie whatsoever. But
No. Let me ask this, because we made this analogy, I believe it was a week or two ago, that Dune 1 was a lot like A New Hope. In the sense that it was boring, it was slow. It didn't really hit a climax until the very end. Is Dune 2 like Empire, where it picks up the pace a lot, the story kind of skyrockets, the action gets a lot better? Is it similar to that, at least in that aspect?
Absolutely. One of my good friends that I play D&D with, she went and saw it. Rob's girlfriend, Kim, she went and saw it. And here's this. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Rob had no negatives about this movie.
That is genuinely shocking.
Come
Genuinely
on.
shocking.
Rob said he had no negatives, and Rob is notoriously picky about his movies.
Nothing.
Not a single negative. I mean, I'm telling you, I was watching this movie. I had to go by myself.
Okay.
The baby was here asleep, but I was like, I gotta go see it. And by the end of that movie, I was just like thinking to myself, how are they doing this?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the visuals, I was like, who thought of this? Like, there's no way in my mind I see what's happening
from
here.
start to finish. No dull moment. Captivated throughout the whole thing.
There are I can't say there's no dull moments. I mean, there's parts where people are just sitting there having a conversation. So, you know,
was it essential to the story?
Every single thing that happens is essential to the story.
Okay.
Now, say you were trying to watch Dune 1 and you kept falling asleep.
Please
be able to
keep
watch
going.
Dune 2 and just like it still enjoy it. Like
maybe fall asleep.
Here's my question. Am I a normal human being or am I you?
You're me.
Because you would fall asleep in the middle of Die Hard.
Actually, here's a better follow-up to that question. Ryan, if you had to go to Vegas and put money on it that says you wouldn't fall asleep in Dune 2, would you do that?
I would put money on him falling asleep for sure.
Yeah, so would I. I would double down on that.
Always bet on black.
Because there's so much there's so many good points where you're like seeing how in certain conversations that characters are shaping the way the entire world sees certain things. So you're seeing that and you're like, oh boy, things are about to get crazy right here. And it's like so many subtle ways that they do that and they build a world that I was just like, oh my God. And then obviously I'd say about a third of the way through the movie, it's just like from there, it's all go, no stop.
So I can just watch Dune 2 and skip the first part and be good.
Honestly, you probably could with some context. You probably could. They could finish the series with how good this movie was. They could stop right here.
Just read the Cliff Notes version of Dune 1.
Don't go watch Dune 1. It's good. Anyway, sorry. Let's move on. Go see Dune 2. I want to do a spoiler version of this one, but I know this one here ain't gonna watch it.
I ain't watching that.
No. Rhino, go see it.
That's like 6 hours worth of movies, bro.
I realize that. You could have watched the first one already, but you watched it in bits and pieces.
I did watch it 3 different times. I can't fall asleep.
No, he watched the first 20 minutes in bits and pieces.
Like 3 different times.
I thought 15, 20 is a stretch.
All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into DC. DC's finally on the board. Okay, let's do that. DC Superman Legacy renamed Superman. Thoughts?
I've got some concerns on this because we're still over a year away from the movie, and James Gunn is already doing publicity stunts.
What's a publicity? Renaming the movies a publicity stunt?
It's 100% a publicity stunt, because why else would you do it? What reason would there be to rename it? What reason would there be to make this publicly known?
We didn't say publicity stunt when Captain America renamed their movie from New World Order to whatever.
But we knew why they were doing that, because they did a whole bunch of reshoots.
To answer that question, the reason they did that is because James Gunn said that this was the reboot of the DC universe. This was supposed to be the resurgence, and there has not been a Superman involved movie called Superman since, I think he said the 80s.
First one. Since the first one. Yeah.
So it's time. If we're going to reboot it, let's do it. Let's call it Superman. It's not the beginning. It's not the middle. It's not the end. We're not going into the whole alien spacecraft came down. We're getting a world where people know who the fuck Superman is, which at this point, if you don't know what happened with Superman, I don't know what to tell you.
Google it.
I mean, Spider-Man's been pretty successful with doing that with the reboot of him in the MCU. I mean, they pretty much just dived right into it in Captain America Civil War. And
that trickles into the whole blueprint of Marvel working for DC in their favor because of James Gunn. Speaking of James Gunn, there was a story from Joe Manganiello, because fans have, since the reboot has been announced, hounding Joe Manganiello saying, hey, Deathstroke, right? Like, you were going to write a Deathstroke
the two
movie.
People that were hounding him.
What?
Hounding, like 2 or 3 people telling him to go do it. Like, was he really that influential when he did I don't even remember him doing that role.
He's the equivalent of Henry Cavill when it comes to Deathstroke.
Jeez.
I mean, I can't say that, because
no. I'm talking about in terms of how passionate he is about the project is what I meant. Not in terms of how big he was, because he wasn't even in the actual movie. He was in the the post theatrical cut, but
Yeah.
he was extremely passionate about Deathstroke. He wrote a friggin' movie.
Yeah, he wrote a movie about Deathstroke. He was going to direct the movie and try to star in it at the same time. He is definitely, in that regard, in terms of passion, very good. In terms of like looks for it, I could see somebody like Clooney pulling off like badass Deathstroke.
Yeah. I mean, this guy had he was believable,
and he had the look for it big time.
Yeah.
I would say Clooney in Bold and the Brave, right? As an old Batman with a young kid of his, that would be pretty dope.
No, that would be cool. But I still think, I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like,
right. No, absolutely.
Manganiello ain't got to do no sit-ups to get in that movie. He's already in great shape. But yeah, DC, they're moving. I'm ready to see something, man.
Are we going to get monsters and creatures or whatever that show
what
is
that
first?
one called?
I hope Superman is just Superman at the Daily Planet, just literally
Or
working
Monster
every day.
Commander.
Hey, Clark, can I borrow your stapler?
Yeah, here you go.
Can you fly it to me, please?
Yeah. Oh, just Superman, not Clark Kent.
Either or. Like they know. Like, come on, bro. That curl in the glasses really catch a fool.
Why doesn't Superman ever face the northwest corner? Because the ladies' bathroom is over there, and we all know he can see through the wall. So he just kind of like, looks straight down at the floor.
Are we like
It's an HR
surprised
thing.
that Superman is the first DC, the new DC movie? Like we're not getting a
No
Batman. We're
way.
not getting
Not at
no.
all.
No.
Honestly, I mean, I've talked about this because you guys know I'm not the hugest DC fan, but if you're going to start with anyone, Superman's the way to go. 100%.
Well, I also think that the Battinson reboot had a little bit to do with that as well, because you can't just dive into the DCU rebooting Batman as well, because there's going to be a little fatigue there.
That was such a good movie.
Oh yeah,
Batman.
It was good. It was good, but give me the Dark Knight.
I don't like
That's
their.
what I'm
I don't
saying.
like their Joker though. I agree. I don't like that.
If you got the
Joker.
Battinson with Heath Ledger's Joker, whoa,
Oh,
whoa, that would be
Ooh.
okay. So
Magnifique.
let's move on to some gaming news, shall we? WWE 2K24 actually was rated an 8 by IGN, which I don't really trust a lot of IGN, but it's been a long time since there's been a decent wrestling game.
Yeah,
Very long time.
94.
Yeah, right. Like in WCW NWO Revenge.
Oh, that's a good one.
I can't even tell you how many matches of that game I played. And then there was WWE No Mercy. It was
SmackDown
WWF
was
No
my
Mercy.
favorite.
Come on. So this one's rated an 8. And notably, there are two very large male superstars who would normally be on the front and center of that game that are noticeably absent. One being Brock Lesnar, and the other one being Vince McMahon.
I mean, rightfully so, right?
Most recent allegations made in his way. At this point, I'm surprised Triple H is still on TV with them. He's one of the greatest creative minds, if not the greatest creative mind the WWE has ever had outside of Vince McMahon. But there's no other McMahon showing their face around WWE right now.
Here's my problem. If somebody knew, they all knew. What do you do? What do you do? Like, what do you do there?
I mean, I don't think it's fair to say they all knew. I don't think it's fair to say that.
I don't think it is either.
He had to have known he's married to his daughter.
Oh, you mean if Triple H knew that was happening?
Yeah.
I'm sure he had whisperings, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was the reason some of that came to light.
Yeah.
As a power move? You're talking about corporate takeover?
Not a power move, as a self-preservation and a preserving the integrity of his wife and saying, hey, you need to distance yourself from this. You need to not be here. Here's what I'm hearing.
I'm not.
Well, I wonder how much of the estrangement between the McMahon kids and Vince had anything to do with this, because Shane distanced himself from wrestling a lot about 4 or 5 years ago. And Stephanie has also kind of dismissed herself from the forefront of it, the TV and the publicity of it, and has kind of taken a back.
Since the acquisition, she is, I don't believe, with the company any longer.
She's not on.
So I wonder if any of that was influenced by Vince McMahon's actions and them at least maybe even hearing about it. Like, hey, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those that I think the skeletons have been in the closet for a long time.
And this can't be the first chick that he's done it to.
Way before Hulk Hogan, this kind of stuff had to be going on.
He might have been too young then and not that powerful. But
he was still
the CEO of WWF. Yeah, he was powerful.
He's been the top guy of the leading wrestling franchise for the last 30 years. Yeah. He was powerful.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a bad situation to be in, but hey, it is what it is. WWE's cut ties with him. Who knows where that's going to go?
Play stupid games.
Win stupid.
Good point. Yeah.
Hey, here's a good gaming story that I want to talk about. Xbox boss Phil Spencer says that Call of Duty could release on Xbox Game Pass.
You still wouldn't
free.
get it.
I would if it was free. Let's go. I'll download it and play it.
Warzone's free.
Yeah, is it?
It is.
Yeah, no. I think if it was the Call of Duty PvP,
zombies and all that.
I mean, every single facet of the game, I'm sure there's definitely going to be very much paid versions of the game. But if it's an Xbox exclusive to Game Pass, that would be a very power move by Xbox.
I also asked this when I was looking at this headline. How much of this do you think is a middle finger from Xbox to PlayStation?
Big time. 100%.
I don't necessarily know if it's a middle finger. It's what you do when you acquire a $70 billion.
But isn't that a huge flex by Microsoft to be like, hey, we just spent $70 billion on this on the studio. We're going to release a game for free.
Yep. Game comes out every year. Every year.
They'll make $1 billion in microtransactions. Why not?
Yes, they will.
Well, I mean,
it's probably 10 times that.
Yeah, I was just giving a
no. You're both right though, because people are going to have that mindset. Because I've had that mindset when I got Overwatch for free. I was like, let me see what skins are in the shop.
Yep.
I didn't spend $60-$70 on this. Let me go throw $20 at some skins.
I mean, I spent
$300 later.
Fortnite.
Yeah. But look at like games like
you said
it.
PlayStation too, though.
Yeah, but you said it. Fortnite
losing money.
Fortnite.
Yeah,
that's another one.
Yeah,
that's a free game.
It's arguably the biggest game on the planet.
Yeah, and it's only gonna get bigger.
Yeah.
I know that we talked about this before, but there's a game that's making a lot of noise that's starting to grow a little bit bigger than Fortnite and all these games. It's not there yet.
I don't think it's anywhere close to Fortnite, but I want to hear it. Go.
It can get there. Helldivers 2. I've been playing it a lot, and it is different.
Let's get the Nello report on Helldivers 2.
You know what? I'm not the greatest at it. I'm pretty bad if you want to, but when it comes to blowing shit up with a big bomb, I'm your guy. You need a big stratagem, call me. I'm taking explosions, napalm, 500 kilogram bombs, 380s, 120s, you name it, I got it.
What he's describing for you kids at home are large explosives.
Oh, I thought
these are the size that he's giving them.
Well, I mean, Helldivers 2 will probably be up for Game of the Year, but it's still never going to reach Fortnite size, ever.
It was available and everything for free.
I mean, Fortnite's been around for, 9 years already?
Kid-friendly.
No.
2015.
No, but it's a kid-friendly game too. You're talking about a different demographic,
and it's Starship Troopers done correctly.
Honestly, this game looks like a game that I built for myself. Like I was like, what would be fun for me in a game? It's Helldivers 2. And now the fact that they're starting to implement warthogs, essentially
warthogs and mechs, are
SUVs with miniguns on the back. They're implementing mechs that you can get in and climb into. I'm like, what is going on?
Possibly PvP in certain map types.
Anybody that has ever played a video game with me that knows that there's a vehicle that you could call in, I'm the driver, to quote Cool Runnings.
He is Dominic Toretto in any vehicle you could possibly imagine out of any game.
I'm telling you, in Battlefield, that's all I would do is go find a helicopter and go, get in, boys. Where are we going?
Dude, in Halo, if we would load into Halo, I would run to the Jeep, and if I made it there first, I was getting on the turret without even asking.
Right.
Listen, guys,
all right, man, we're going.
All you're doing in Helldivers is trying to spread democracy to these planets that just don't have it. That's it. And that's all I want to do is spread some democracy. That's
this game is so tongue-in-cheek, and I love it. Like they know that it's ridiculous, and it's like the whole thing they want to accomplish is spreading democracy. So they're going to planets in the solar system, not inhabited by humans, that just have these aliens on them just so they can kill them. And that's them, like, they're stopping the threat to something that's not threatening them.
Or AI, whatever. You can go to the aliens, you can take on Skynet. It's your call. You do what you do.
This is the closest I've ever been to thinking about getting a PS5.
Come to the dark side, boy.
But Helldivers looks like crazy.
It's fun. It's just fun.
I hope it comes to Xbox, and there's a big petition out now for it to do that.
It should. It's on PC. I don't understand why it's not out there.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Cut off a third of your revenue stream.
No kidding. Let's talk a little bit of movies and TV, and then we got some stuff coming up after the break. We're doing a little new segment. It's gonna be cool. New segment. First thing I want to talk about, one of my favorite series of all time, and to my boy Justin Fox, who, by the way, is going to be coming down to Florida, going to join us for one of these here in the studio. It'll be a lot of fun. We love Justin.
Silent Ninja.
He asked me about a role that I play for a guy named Locke in Atlas Avenue Beat. He's like, "Where'd you get the inspiration to do that voice?" And I was like, "Oh, 100%. It's Leslie Nielsen." I was like, Leslie Nielsen is definitely, and he with a straight face said, "Who is that?"
What?
I said, "How old are you, child? How old are you, young man?" How old is he? And I don't remember what he said, but I think he's in his late 20s, early 30s. If you don't know who Leslie Nielsen is, do yourself a favor. He was a dramatic actor that took up comedy, and he is like the king of slapstick, like straight face, but doing crazy shit comedy.
The juice was loose in those movies.
Yeah, it was. And so they're doing a remake, and guess who's going to star in the Naked Gun series?
I saw it.
Are you ready?
I know.
Liam Neeson.
Yes.
Honestly, like the level of serious actor that Liam Neeson is so perfect.
This is going to be good.
It is so perfect for
He does have some pretty good comedic timing. Liam Neeson does. Yeah.
Right. In his more recent roles, except for Taken, he's done a comedic role to it or two. It's pretty good.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies was Wrongfully Accused, which was a spoof on the Harrison Ford movie with Tommy Lee Jones.
The Fugitive.
The Fugitive.
Yeah.
So it was a remake on they called it Wrongfully Accused. That movie almost killed me. It was that funny.
Give me back my family.
Give me back my family. My daughter.
Give me my family back.
Actually, that's Air Force One.
Oh, I didn't know.
Get off my plane.
Off my plane.
Yeah. That was him and oh my God. He was in Batman Begins. He was Commissioner Jim Gordon. Jeff Gordon.
He was Daytona 500 winner Jeff Gordon.
Wow, Taken, the Lego movie.
Yeah.
Anchorman.
That's the one where his comedic timing in the Lego movie was amazing.
Yeah. He's really good.
The A-Team.
Oh, he's great in the A-Team.
I love that's people shit on that movie so much. I love the A-Team.
Me too.
It's an excellent movie. I don't know why anybody would shit on it at all. It's a great movie.
Wish they made more.
Delta Force.
Haven't seen that one. That sounds like a comedy.
Old school Chuck Norris movie.
I was saying that sounds like old. That is the old school.
No, Delta Force was a serious action movie.
Yeah, I was about to say Harry Potter series due to come out in 2026 on Max. Any takers?
I'm 100%. I can't
out.
wait to watch this.
Check it. Check, please.
You're not watching it?
Because they're gonna dive into the books in so much more detail than the movies did. Because one season is just gonna be one book, so this show's gonna be on for 7-8 years.
Damn. I think it's gonna be good, man.
Enjoy.
I like what they did with the new Avatar series on Netflix.
That I watched the first couple episodes of that. That was incredible.
A lot of the like purists that love that cartoon, which by the way, the cartoon is perfect. It's amazing. You should definitely watch it. The series did a really good job. A lot more darker tone to it, but it was really good.
Yep.
But speaking of anime,
oh, I ain't watching.
And things being created in the anime verse, Naruto.
Trash.
No,
you didn't even get to finish the sentence.
Trash.
Naruto is getting made into a live action movie.
It's so hard to do an anime of this level.
That's what I'm saying.
In live action. I mean, Dragon Ball Z was absolute dog shit.
I never saw
absolute dog shit. It was one of the worst movies I've ever watched in my entire life.
Okay, so tell us why it's not going to work, Ryan.
Just because anime is drawn to like the way it's drawn. It's action. It's a lot of things that really don't happen, and you can't.
It's hard to replicate live action,
right?
Yeah, especially like in Naruto, because you do a lot of things where like substitution, where it's a log that they make look like themselves, and it just poofs away.
Yeah.
Like I saw One Piece
that off in freaking in live action. You know what I mean? Like,
like I was trying to watch One Piece and it just looks like it looks good, but it's just like no, impossible.
Let me tell you something.
Or Cowboy Bebop. I watched all that and I was just like, it's not as good.
I did the same thing when I watched the anime for Cowboy Bebop. I go, this isn't that good, and I turned it off.
Like imagine trying to put into live action like a Goku or a Vegeta power up.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be able. It's the same with Naruto.
Right. I mean, I
Naruto,
can't
whatever.
imagine, like, you know,
Like
you
just some
got
of their
Vegeta out
jutsus
there
are just-
portrayed by Macaulay Culkin, who's powering up to his super Super Saiyan Blue, and he does it with like the face. No, I'm just kidding. But like, it's you're right. It doesn't translate at all.
And I just don't think it's gonna do the same. I think it's gonna be the same way live action. It isn't gonna hit the same.
If you could pick one thing that you would be excited to see, assuming it's good,
If it was done well,
yeah, if it was done well, what would it be?
Naruto.
Or what do you hope
For him?
to
It's
see?
Naruto.
For me, it would be Dragon Ball Z 100%.
That would be done correctly. No. In that show, like you hope, like they got to do this.
Gotcha.
Or the movie, whatever.
Yeah. Let's hear it. I want to know this.
It's your show, man.
I know, but
What does Ryan do to make this show so good? Come on. What is it, Ryan?
Honestly,
what do we
has
do
to be the casting
to
of
make
the
you show up on
characters, for
time?
sure.
Oh my God, big time.
The casting,
Big time, yeah.
spot on.
Who plays the Naruto kid? I know his name isn't Naruto, is it? His name is Naruto?
Naruto was a monkey.
Okay, now who plays him? Don't say Jackie Chan.
No, that's the thing. I can't even think of somebody to.
Bro, just get the three ninjas back.
Especially
Because it
when
also depends too. I don't know when
Rocky Colton Tum Tum.
is this gonna be like Shonen Jump, or is this gonna be Shippuden?
Yeah.
Where he's older or younger.
You know, if he's older, he could be the kid from Shang-Chi.
Simalu.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
It doesn't matter because they never look like the
But
cartoon.
he's a little too
Yeah,
old,
no,
right? Isn't the
yeah.
kid in his teens?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he's younger, he's like around like I think it's like 13. And then when they go to the show,
So easily that's
he's
a
in,
Macaulay
16,
Culkin.
17.
He's got the body of a 13-year-old.
Has anybody seen Avatar, the live action Avatar?
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
out?
it's really good.
You
Yeah.
good? I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
That's
so I'm-
so fun story. Let's do a callback. That's what we were just fucking talking about.
Avatar? I was too busy laughing at your shit.
So you don't remember the thing when he said, "Hey, has anyone seen the live action?" And I answered, "Yeah, I watched the first couple episodes. It was really good."
How does Apple-
Nello had the Jeopardy
How
music
does Apple
playing in
look
his
in
head.
that?
Huh?
How does Apple look in that?
Apple looking what?
In Avatar.
Appa? He looks very fake.
No, see,
He looks very
that's
fake.
kinda what I
He does
want.
not
Like,
look
I
great, but
don't-
everything else looks incredible.
It
The
does.
bending, the martial arts, they did it so well.
Yeah. And oh boy had a little power up moment where that actually looked pretty decent.
Let's also talk about this. We've got to go through the Avatar. If you could have the bending without being the Avatar and pick a specific nation, who are you wanting to be born to? Fire, water, earth, air? Let's
Air.
start with Rhino. Air?
Air. Yeah.
Air, because then you could fart blast somebody.
Yep.
I could see it fucking already.
I always wanted to be Earth.
Earth?
Captain America from Captain Planet. Earth.
I kept making that joke throughout the series. I'm like, oh, there's Earth, fire, wind, water. There's
Yeah.
Captain Planet. If he would have shown up,
Their
I'd have lost
powers
my mind.
combined. The only thing they
Don
leave is-
You ever
Cheadle?
see the one with Don Cheadle? Don Cheadle.
It's amazing.
There's a skit of Don Cheadle as Captain America, and he goes, or Captain America, Captain
I did
Planet,
it too. I did.
and he goes like super literal, like humans are bad for the planet. That's what I'll do. I'll kill all of them. It's so good.
Go
All right,
check it
Ryan,
out.
where are you going?
I didn't watch much Avatar. Probably go water.
Water. And you said Earth.
Earth. Hell yeah. Best things come
I gotta
from the
say,
Earth.
Hold on a second. The black man picks the least believable thing a black man would pick, and that's water.
Fair.
No, but I'm
Well, I know
actually.
the Fire Nation. They're kind of like assholes.
That's right.
I
I know.
know the Fire like bad guys. So
Oh,
I'm not
fucking
going.
right.
Why
I
did
know.
he have to bring up the black guy water thing, and then you went to fire?
And then-
You validated him.
So funnily enough, is I was gonna say when, but then he said that, so like I can't copy him there. So I'm just gonna go with water.
Yeah, I'm going with water too, just because so much of the planet is made out of water.
And Earth.
Come on, man. I'm just gonna be walking around with my Stanley cup, be like, hey man, no,
Man,
you're gonna
man.
take that extra biscuit off my receipt. Otherwise, I'm taking the lid off
I
my
will
cup.
just unscrew the cork on the oceans, and there goes the water.
Okay.
What's up?
Well,
Where would it go?
I don't know.
Hold on. No. Let's stop here because I got to get to the bottom of this. What do you? There's a cork at
I'm
the bottom
Earth.
of the
I
ocean.
can do anything. I can move Earth, right?
Sure.
It's like Captain Planet. I didn't watch Avatar, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's like Captain Planet.
So in this real world,
Right.
where's the cork?
On the bottom of the ocean, I create it.
And so
Earth,
you
and I
feel
just
like
walk,
this is like
or
a
whatever my
Oh,
ring
okay.
sound does.
ring.
Yeah.
So we're doing air bending and bending. And you're,
I'm
Oh,
just
man.
saying.
I worry about
Were
you.
you a Power Ranger now?
Seriously. So, man, you're gonna be part of the Water Nation. I'll just call my Dragon Zord and go down there and pull off the cork, bro. What are you talking about?
Waka waka.
So
The sound of the ring.
The sound of the ring was waka waka waka. Was
One of them-
Fozzie Bear?
One of those rings makes that sound.
Okay, so I think
it was hard,
legally have to take a break
I had a question real
after
quick.
that. Let's get the question out
With
of the
all
way.
these live actions, is there anything that you would actually want to see?
Hey, they can't do it right, so no. I'm with you. Yeah,
Well, that's that question I thought Nella was asking originally. I would do Dragon Ball Z if they were able to do it right. I would love to see a Dragon Ball Z movie.
Honestly, I
already
kind of
seen
would
that.
like
Failed.
to see Demon Slayer.
that's what I was gonna say.
Like,
Demon Slayer,
if
baby.
They did a good I'd be all for it.
Demon Slayer is my favorite anime right now. I mean, Avatar was perfect. I liked Avatar.
Demon Slayer would be pretty good.
TVZ fan, but Demon Slayer is so practical. You could actually do it.
You can actually do
but
that.
not only that, the story is incredible. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's take a break. We're going to be back with some Marvel stuff and our new little true false segment. So see you in a minute.
I'm gonna go pull the cork.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Alter Ego Podcast. You may have noticed that half of the first word I said there was probably cut off because I started too early.
It's like it's been there.
Facts.
We got a new segment on the show. It's called Agree or Disagree, where I'm going to ask the boys a couple of questions, pose the question to them in a way where they have to disagree or agree, and they will give a little bit of their opinion on that. We're going to start it off with Chris Evans. And Chris Evans recently said in an interview that Winter Soldier was his favorite movie to film. Agree or disagree, the Winter Soldier Cap costume was the best that he had in any of his movies?
Agree if it's the final fight from Avengers, the first Captain America, the first Avenger, not the original stuff. Yes, I think the one at the end is yes.
I like the
Agree.
Civil War stuff. Disagree.
I don't know necessarily if it's a costume, but what was it? Endgame when your boy showed up with the beard? That was it.
Oh, and I liked his shield in the
disagree.
first Civil War. That like the crest or whatever, the fake one, not the animanium shield. You know, the one where he was singing and dancing.
Yeah.
Randy
Yeah.
and animated.
All right, moving on.
All right, moving on. Madam Web became the first comic book related movie to not debut at #1 in the box office in almost a decade, going back to 2015's Fantastic Four. Agree or disagree, Sony will ruin the Spider-Verse before they ever make a good movie?
Agree.
It's not the Spider-Verse. So Spider-Man isn't there. It's just the rest-of-verse.
Yeah, that's the Spider-Verse. They're all spider-related people.
I get it, but
I
it's
agree.
not Spider-Man. It's everything else.
Ryan, you agree?
I agree.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly on that one. They have yet to make a good movie. I mean, Venom 1 was okay, but they have yet to make a good movie.
Venom 1 I was forgiving. Carnage, Let There Be Carnage, I'm done. 3 I will watch just for the continuity, but they have ruined my favorite characters in Marvel.
Galactus and Silver Surfer are confirmed to appear in Fantastic Four in 2025. Agree or disagree, the Fantastic Four will be the best Marvel group franchise in the MCU?
Ooh,
False. Disagree.
I think I disagree too.
I'll say false as in more important, maybe the most crucial for the new.
Okay, I can dig that. I can dig that.
I'm going to follow mine up and say that I believe the X-Men, when they are finally reimagined and revisioned. But right now, if I were to even put them up against the Avengers, I haven't seen their screen time. So I'm still saying the Avengers are the best. I think X-Men will end up taking it, but who knows?
Yeah, I kind of like Nella's point there. Maybe most crucial in terms of moving the phase forward, but yeah, I don't think it'll be the best. Recent rumors suggest the MCU is phasing away from Kang entirely and perhaps going towards Victor Von Doom. Agree or disagree, the MCU will continue to decline significantly if they give up on the Kang saga?
False. Disagree.
I thought it was over with Loki. I thought Loki tied that all up like his Dunzo.
I'm gonna agree with that.
Yeah, well, they were supposed to continue the Kang storyline because the next Avengers movie was literally named Kang Dynasty, but now they have scratched that name and they're going with a completely different direction. So I'm also going to agree. I think that giving up on the Kang phase is the worst decision they could have made.
And my reason for saying I disagree is because people are already forgetting about Marvel. A lot of the common fans aren't even going to know they were in the Kang Dynasty because they don't really know what's going on half the time if they don't watch all the things or have a nerd friend like us to to connect the dots for them. So them not knowing much about Kang and not following it rabidly like we do, knowing that Kang Dynasty was coming, no, they won't even know.
I mean, you can't get a more perfect answer than that. I agree with whatever.
That's a good point. Agree or disagree? Alan Richman would have made a better Thor than Chris Hemsworth.
Disagree to the highest power.
So there was a story recently, I forgot to preface it with this. There was a story recently in Men's Health where Richmond was talking about his audition for Thor, and he said that he took his physique more importantly than he did his role as the character. So he didn't really focus on his role as a character. He was just worried about looking like Thor, and that's why they went with Hemsworth.
I think Hemsworth is the perfect Thor. He looks the part. He acts the part. He doesn't need to be some chiseled thing. He's just like a regular dude. Disagree.
No, he's a god, you moron.
You know what I mean? But he's like a regular dude amongst the gods.
Ryan, do you agree or disagree?
I'm gonna disagree. That guy eats Oreos out his ass.
What?
Alan Richardson?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Out of his butt?
He eats Oreos out of his ass.
Okay, please elaborate.
He used to play Thad Castle on a show called Blue Mountain State. And if you haven't seen it, go do yourself.
Oh boy.
Go watch it.
Okay, first and foremost, my biggest reason to disagree is let's take physique out of the game. Who is the better actor?
Hemsworth.
Yeah, Hemsworth for sure. Hemsworth for sure.
Dude, Richardson, I don't know. I love him in that the TV show he does.
The Reacher. Yeah.
I think he's good. I don't think he has anywhere near the range that Hemsworth has. Hemsworth also has the great physique for it. And if you make Richardson Thor, he's almost too big for Thor, right? Like,
he's
way cartoon big. Thor, yeah, sure. But like, I definitely think Hemsworth is a dream perfect casting for that character.
I think he'd be a good Juggernaut.
So next question we got here. Next year in July, Superman and Fantastic Four will debut 2 weeks apart from each other in the same month. Agree or disagree with everything that's going on in the MCU and with the new DCU? Superman will outgross Fantastic Four.
I'm sorry. I got distracted because they just said that he should play Cyclops.
He said that.
And my mind just went there and everything you said, stop talking.
Yeah,
I just said that Richardson.
I apologize.
I will repeat the question. So,
perfect.
In July of 2025, both Superman and Fantastic Four will debut in the theaters 2 weeks apart from each other. With everything that's going on with the MCU and the new DCU, agree or disagree, Superman will outgross Fantastic Four?
No, disagree. Move on. No way. Sorry. It's a DC movie.
Agree.
Better than the Fantastic Four? I don't know. We've been waiting for Fantastic Four.
I did not say better. I did not say better.
I agree under this principle. It's a lot more known of a character. If you ask the average person, I guarantee you a higher percentage of them will know who Superman is over the Fantastic Four. And I also think it's something new. And people are getting the MCU fatigue, and they're just going to want to see something different than the same thing they've been seeing for the last 18 years.
That is my reasoning for saying agree, because it's Superman. Everybody knows Superman. There are going to be dudes in nursing homes that are trying to get field trip days to go out and see this movie. Because Superman hasn't been around, I mean, like in a major way, in my opinion, since Christopher Reeves. I mean, Brandon Routh was cool. I liked him. I like Brandon Routh, believe it or not. That's one of my favorite Superman iterations. I thought he was great as Clark Kent and Superman. Obviously, Cavill is Cavill. He's amazing. He does a great job in the role. But I think this is going to be a megastar movie.
And it's James Gunn. So a lot of people are going to have faith in this movie knowing that James Gunn's name is tied to it. So they're going to give it the college try.
And a lot of the Marvel boys and girls are going to be out there to see it because they want to see what DC's doing. They want to see it.
Next question. This one's an easy one. I believe we're going to get the same answer for everybody.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree? Deadpool.
Oh, wow. You didn't.
All right. Ryan, do you agree or disagree with the last one?
I actually disagree. I think Superman's going to get outdone.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Well, I mean, there's no real wrong answer with this one, but yeah, why?
I just honestly, I think it's kind of because of we've already had so many Superman movies, and DC has a bad track.
And they're going to be pissed that it's not Cavill.
And at the same time, I'm like kind of on the fence because it's Fantastic Four, and they don't have a great run either.
Man, I know that this is your segment, and I don't want to hijack it, but I'm sorry.
And I think Pedro Pascal is going to help a lot.
Well, if you don't want to hijack it, then I hope you have a time machine.
All right, never mind. Go on.
No, finish your thought.
I forgot it. That's the problem. I have to let it go.
Oh my god.
All right, so the next one for you guys, and this one's a quick one. Disagree or agree? Deadpool will become the greatest MCU character of all time.
Disagree.
I disagree as well.
Oh wow.
Question.
Oh no, the great he will become the greatest of all time.
The greatest MCU character of all time.
He will become it.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Oh, god damn it.
I'm gonna agree ahead of time under this scenario. I think that Deadpool saves the MCU and rights the wrong and puts the ship on the correct course. And if he does that, I think he will be the greatest MCU character of all time.
I don't think he needs to like fix the MCU. He just need to be his own entity and like pop around. So he has the potential to be the greatest MCU cameo after Stan Lee. But
cameo.
Yeah, like you can
He's gonna
any movie. You can just pop him in.
They're not going to pay him $40 million per movie to be cameo, dude.
I mean, they're going to put him in everything. I agree with that. But I'm very sorry. Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool is very limited in what they can do in terms of emotional range and things like that, with Deadpool being who he is. At the end of the day, he may make you cry or have a certain scenario, but he's going to have a joke about masturbating into a tube sock as soon as he's done with it. So I think that when you look back on it, you can't. It's the same thing that I say for the Avengers movies, right? Nothing's ever going to beat that first team up when they meet up in the middle of New York and they're ready to take on the Chitauri coming out of the portal.
And you got Hulk,
and you got people like Iron Man, who you've seen go from eccentric billionaire to I am Iron Man, sacrificing myself for half the universe. That's iconic. That's hard to beat. That is going to be some of the building blocks that Deadpool's going to have to try to stand on. There's a lot of things that Deadpool's not going to be able to do, because at the end of the day, Iron Man was also trying to save the entire planet with his technology, with all the things that he was doing around the world. And Deadpool is going to try to kill people with a gun and a couple of swords. The outreach, the impact on the overall universe that Deadpool should have, if we're looking at true blue Deadpool, he just can't reach the levels of guys like Tony Stark or guys like Reed Richards. Is he going to be the most highest grossing? Is he going to be the great one to get the guys in the box office? Absolutely. Is he going to make knockout movies? Yes, he is. But most important Marvel character, or what was the actual terminology?
Greatest MCU character of all time.
Right. Great. So first of all, greatest is relevant. You know what I mean? It's going to be who you ask. And I'm sure there will be a lot of people that say that he is, but in my opinion, it's still a disagree, just because there's too much to argue with.
That's a very, very good point. Very good point. The next one we got here, Kevin Conroy will make one last appearance as Batman in the upcoming Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. For those of you out there that may not remember, Kevin Conroy is arguably the greatest Batman animated voice of all time.
Is Batman?
The question is based off of that. Agree or disagree? Conroy is the best voice actor in comic book animated history.
Disagree. 100%.
I haven't watched enough of that stuff to give an honest opinion.
It's
so I'm
funny because you said his
defer.
name, and I was like, "Who the hell is Kevin Conroy?" And he never played Batman until you said animated. I'm like, "Oh,
animated, yeah." So I'm gonna disagree also, just because I think Mark Hamill as Joker was better.
I would put him up there. He's the only guy that I would really argue with. However, I'm gonna go with a guy by the name of Steve Bloom. Does anybody know who Steve Bloom is?
That name sounds familiar, but I can't put a finger on it.
Yeah, character.
He voices Wolverine
from X-Men.
Yeah,
I was thinking that in my head.
He's got that. To me, he's got that iconic Wolverine voice. He does so much. I love.
Well, not anymore.
Nothing. Again. Yeah, he does.
No, they have a new Wolverine voice in the new one.
Oh, really? They replaced.
Yeah, and so the new animated one that came out, Wolverine or X-Men. What was it? 97.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the voice of Wolverine anymore. Apparently, the guy who voices Wolverine's a complete joke in that show.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
What does that mean?
The voice of Wolverine
like
is not.
Everyone hates him. Like he's not a good Wolverine. He's not a believable Wolverine.
That's because he's not Steve Bloom, baby.
Oh my gosh! Back to the question that I was saying. What shoes are harder to fill? Would it be this new guy playing Superman to fill Cavill's, or Pedro Pascal to fill in Reed Richards?
What? It's definitely Superman.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
that's not even close. We haven't seen a Reed Richards in 17 years.
Yeah, name me another Reed Richards that's not John Krasinski.
Okay.
I'm serious though. Name me one.
I know he's that baby face.
what
I don't
was
remember
his
his
name?
name. man. I got him right here.
Williamson. Will Williamson?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't
said
fucking know who he is.
I said
But you could sit here and look at Dean Cain, fucking Henry Cavill, Brandon Routh. Who's the guy from Smallville? Can't remember his name. But and then obviously
Christopher Reeves.
iconic Christopher Reeves. There's just so many people.
We have one shitty iteration of Reed Richards, and we have 15 minutes of John Krasinski. I'm pretty sure Pedro Pascal hasn't made.
And he's gonna walk into it being the standard for Reed Richards. I'm just telling you that now.
I'm so glad you led with Dean Cain when you were talking about Supermans because he is the best.
Because I was reaching back just to show you just how many
Lois and
people.
Clark, man.
That's right.
So good.
Last question of the segment. Mark Ruffalo recently said that the MCU had more mystique before Disney Plus. Agree or disagree? The Disney Plus expansion is the number one reason for the MCU downfall over the last 4 years.
False.
Disagree 100%.
Yeah, disagree.
Get better, son.
Too.
This one was tough for me because it has been a lot of the TV shows, whether they be, too many of them or whether they just be flat out bad. But I would chalk it up to writing because we've also seen shitty movies in that time as well. We had the Eternals, we had Thor 4. I just think it's been shitty writing overall. I don't think it's Disney Plus specifically. I just think we've had bad writing.
Agree. That's where my mind is with that. I don't think it's Disney because okay, so hold on a minute. You mean to tell me that the company that paid how much for Marvel and they have injected how much capital and given them an entire streaming service dedicated to their platform, they're the downfall? I can't buy that. There's no way. No. It's on the people who are the leaders at Marvel, and unfortunately this does fall to Feige. I know you listen to the show, buddy, and this is going to hurt your feelings, but just we'll text through it, okay? I love you. But you tried to
get the fruit basket going.
Too much stuff you tried to push out the window, and you were the reason it was great, and you tried to pass that on to other folks, and it crumbled because everybody had a different vision than yours. So the continuity fell apart, the writing fell apart, stuff that people should have gone, this is really stupid, went out the door because nobody was quality checking. And is that partially to do with Disney execs? I'm sure it is because they want returns on their dollars. However, is it their fault? No, it's not.
$4 billion.
$4 billion. Yeah.
2019. I was real quick.
And they've made what? Probably 4 times that.
2009, $4 billion. Yeah, they've made their money back and then some.
2009 for $1 billion?
$4 billion.
$4 billion?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've made at least 4, if not 5 times that since then.
So do you think Disney Plus is the problem?
No, I disagree. Yeah, I disagree.
I don't think it is a problem. I think it's like you said. I think it's just bad writing. Me personally, I think it's them trying to do what they did the first time, but the first time was lightning in a bottle.
Yep.
It wasn't all planned out. It wasn't. It just kind of happened, and it worked out for them.
Right.
They started from the beginning and tried to do something, and they had this too big of a wide scope.
Yeah, and it came from
a great point. Great point.
From hey, the Iron Man worked so well. By the way, we're doing a Hulk movie. How cool would it be if Iron Man showed up and he says something about a team? Because we could do an Avengers movie. I mean, people would go crazy for Cap, and then it's like slowly but surely became this big, congealed storytelling piece. And then, now everybody expects that. And you expect to start off with the, I hate to put him in this position because it was an excellent movie, but Shang-Chi, say, oh, Shang-Chi, he's going to be part of the new group. Where's Iron Man? Where's my guy that I like? Where's Robert Downey Jr.? Well, we're trying to restart with this guy. Well, I don't like him. You know what I mean? They started off at a disadvantage.
I think they dropped the ball when they just tight knitted it so much it just focused on these guys' stories only. They didn't even interject little throw a grenade in and just boom and say have somebody pop up or anything. Even in Endgame, nobody really popped up that was like we can say, oh, help us. It was still that same core group.
Yeah, it was Captain Marvel, and she wasn't established enough to viewers, to see your favorite characters need help from her was kind of like, why is she here?
Well, she had a whole movie before that.
I know. I agree.
You know what made Iron Man?
Or Iron Man.
The first Iron Man.
America had 3.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what made the first Iron Man so good was the fact that they didn't even know if they were going to make another movie after Iron Man. They had no idea. They went into that thinking this is probably going to be our only project. Let's put everything that we have into it. Now, we've gotten into the 2018s, 19s, 20s. They're making guaranteed products. We're like, hey, just put the MCU stamp of approval on it and get it out the door. It doesn't matter because it's the MCU.
I think part of this too is like they have such established characters that they think to themselves, well, if this guy shows up, people will love it. Like in case with the Marvels. I liked the Marvels. Thought it was a good movie. A lot of issues with it. We talked about it in the villains episode, but one of those things is they throw Samuel L. Jackson in there, and he doesn't really have a major impact, in my humble opinion. It's just the fact that you've got Samuel L. Jackson in your movie, and you think people are going to be like, "Oh man, Samuel L. Jackson's in there," so they feel they could be a little bit more laxed on the writing and stuff. So
I don't know. Is he going to show up as Fury? You gotta Fury does that, so I can see putting him in there, but
he didn't. But the thing is, he didn't need to. Like they could have had the entire movie and not had Samuel L. Jackson. It would have been the exact same.
They could have led that whole thing with Photon, and it would have been just as good. Because I said this when we talked about it. Every single one of those three ladies in the Marvels was a knockout. They did great. Brie Larson, awesome as Captain Marvel. Photon, excellent. Miss Marvel, excellent. I mean, there's really, to me, everything else around them just fell.
The villain was so bad.
Yeah, the villain really hurt.
Horrible
villain.
Villain.
On my villains.
That was
the
worst villain I've ever seen in a long time.
Yeah, I agree. And it was just because of her motives.
It was Ronin, but a girl.
Not even.
Well, that is entirely irrelevant. It could have been a girl, and it could have been another Ronin, and they could have done so much better with her.
You do with her being a girl. It was the same. It was the same idea.
And she didn't.
She was
power or the purpose.
Yeah, she was an accuser. They just didn't do her justice, in my opinion.
I don't know. So is that it for the questions?
That is it for the questions. The disagree or agree is over.
Well, that's good. I thought we did well. Let's give us a round of applause here.
Why isn't Chet clapping?
His day off.
He's not allowed eye contact. So Marvel rumors that the next Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 4, is going to be two things. It's going to be a street level Spider-Man movie. No more Spider-Man saving the entire world. That's not what that character is meant for. So street level Spider-Man, and it's going to introduce another web slinger, Mr. Miles Morales.
I don't like that.
I think there's two major reasons why. A, they're seeing how well the animated movies are doing with Miles Morales and the video game success as well. But B, I have a feeling that this is going to be a passing of the torch movie.
Already?
Jeez, Tom Holland.
So hold on. I'm not saying Tom Holland's done. I think he will have spot roles in certain movies. If we have, Avenger team-up movies, things of that nature, he'll have spot roles. But I think your main Spider-Man going forward after Spider-Man 4 is going to be Miles Morales.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm kind of curious as to why you said what you said. Why aren't you a fan?
I'm not a fan of that. Because if you look at the progression of Spider-Man that they've had so far, his first person that he fought was Vulture. He started on the level, that street level. Then he went and he fought Mysterio, and then he fought Thanos.
Yeah.
To go back and fight the pickpocket off the street is just kind of like
I didn't think of it that way. The pickpocket.
That's not great for me. Like, there's no growth there. Like he's just reverting back.
Yeah, but
I'm beating up those kinds of people. You know what I mean? Hanging them up, doing his thing. Locking people in the bank. He's already done that.
If you look at his interactions in those movies, though, he wasn't really fighting Thanos. I mean, Spider-Man was one of those guys that was just there.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to pull his thing off. He still did fight him, but like
that was probably his biggest moment. But he was, at the end of the day, he was. I mean, did he really have that much more of an impact than Hawkeye did in the Avengers movies?
Did he not take the glove off? Of
Hawkeye had a huge impact.
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is in terms of fighting people, like. You could probably put them nearly on the same level.
He was in space with Robert Downey Jr., right?
No, but okay.
He also fought Falcon, and who else was he fighting? Like when I got
Bucky,
Winter Soldier, yeah,
metal arm.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like we normally don't talk. You know what I mean? Like that's just funny to me.
But Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, but I mean, he's fighting Avengers, and he also did help fighting Thanos. Like, to have him just go fight Brad the Pickpocket, to me, is dumb.
Brad the Pickpocket.
Well, first of all, he's not going to go up against Brad the Pickpocket. I promise you that. I think a street level Spider-Man situation is much better, because while you do agree and say, yes, he fought Vulture, he fought Mysterio, he did fight Thanos. You can't say he didn't. He absolutely did. And he fought Thanos' army, which isn't really his style. It's not what he's built for.
He fought the other half of the Avengers.
Bringing him back to a New York City scenario, I think, is a great thing for him. Here's why I think so. Vulture was directly related with his girlfriend or whatever, had a direct path to Vulture. He was Vulture, and it was always just that battle. With Mysterio, he was in France or whatever it was, going after Mysterio. It was him and Mysterio, bing, bang, boom. Thanos, it's all these singular directions where when he's in New York, there's a problem over here, then there's a problem all the way back across town, and there's so many criminal syndicates, so many enemies that he could fight at once, that a lot of the times the thing for Spider-Man is he's pulled in too many directions, and it's hard for him to have that I saved this person, but I know this person's going to die. So you're going to get, to me, more of a true blue Spider-Man in New York, in his environment, where he's going after people one after the other. And I think, don't do the one villain. You need to have Kingpin be a part of it. You need to have somebody like, Dr. Octopus. You need Hobgoblin.
You need that multifaceted that they had in that last movie, where it was the Green Goblin, it was Electro, it was, you know what I mean? You need to have him all coming at him. But I want to see Ned become the Goblin. I want to see that. I want to see his best friend, kind of like how they did with the Tobey Maguire, where Franco became Venom, the shitty version of Venom.
What?
Right?
Franco did not become Venom.
Franco became the Green Goblin.
Yeah, Eddie Brock became Venom, which was Topher Grace.
I'm sorry, I got the
get it right or pay the price.
All I know is if they do
get it right or pay the price,
and I don't get
that's another great drop. Camp on a wanna and hold you in our hearts.
I don't get a cameo of an old freaking Captain America. Like, what's up, Queens?
That would be cool. I mean, but I mean, I don't know if that makes sense. What I'm talking about when I mean about Spider-Man.
No,
because
when I was saying street level 2, I also didn't necessarily mean like I said, Brad the Pickpocket. Like, if they went up against a new person from the Sinister Six or someone
or a separate society, something.
They're actually not going to be in the
I think you're going to be able to see a lot more character development on a personal level with Peter Parker than you would in these galactic movies that he's been in. I mean, you're not going to have a whole lot of character development with Peter Parker in Avengers because he's just there to whoop ass. But you're going to see a lot of the human side of Peter Parker, which we got to see when he was fighting these street level guys like Vulture and Mysterio. Yeah, maybe a small tier above street level, but you got to see a lot more of the human side of Spider-Man. You're not going to see that in the Avengers. So
they definitely upped Mysterio in that movie.
Yeah,
upped him in a major way.
And then honestly, it'd be cool to see him now that my own spoiler
on his own.
Yeah, he's on his own. So
you can't. You're not spoiling. Come on, man.
Okay,
I'm with you. If you haven't seen No Way Home yet, and you don't know what happens,
they're a little late to this party.
Yeah,
but with Aunt May being dead, I mean, sheesh.
He's got nobody to turn to,
which would make sense for them to bring in Gwen too. So this whole Spider-Verse thing with Miles Morales would make complete sense.
Well,
you know what? Until you said that, I also totally forgot that he wanted all his friends to forget him.
Yeah.
So he is.
That's the whole point of Ned splitting is gonna go crazy, become the Hobgoblin because he takes away what's his.
And you know who else is gonna ruin that for Spider-Man? Deadpool.
You think so?
Yeah, Deadpool's gonna be like, by the way, that's Peter Parker. Everybody, we know that. You guys all hung out with him. Don't act like you don't know. Somebody already said they knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man in the movies. I forget who it was.
Damn, I forgot about that wish.
With Doctor Strange knows, doesn't he?
Doctor Strange does know. He's the only one. Actually, no.
Yeah.
Because they made it seem like he forgot too.
I thought his girl knows too now because she broke him and Ned up or whatever, right at the end of the movie.
Well,
no. He never said anything to him. He walks in that diner and sees him talking, and then he just walks out.
He was going to hand her a note, but then he didn't because he didn't want to put them back in the life of being with Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah. Well, what's our next movie coming out? Deadpool.
It's Deadpool in July.
There's something DC coming out before Spider-Man though.
What's that?
That Mutant Commanders. Hold on.
Has anybody had a chance to see Blue Beetle yet?
It's okay.
The weekend, not bad.
I need to watch it.
It's better than what they've put out.
Adam Webb.
I will say
It's
that
better than Aquaman. It's better than any of that crap. Yes, it is.
By the way, my son came to me and he goes, "Dad, I heard Aquaman 2 is out. Can we watch it?" And I'm like, "Absolutely."
It's
sorry.
terrible.
Aquaman can do no wrong.
Did you watch it? It's on Amazon.
We're about to.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on Max now. Aquaman 2 is.
Yep. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here. Episode 168 of the Alter Ego Podcast. It's been real and it's been fun. And it's been real fun. We'll see you guys.
I agree.
And we see you.
If you want to get blown up in hell divers, add me.
Black
And
people can absolutely swim.
And there's the title of the episode.
Oh my God, that should be the thing.
Black people can swim. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us. We'll see you next week.